Oh, we got a
Hey, everybody. We are live on the Highly Visible Entrepreneurs. Kristin Thompson with Speak, Serve, Grow. And my friend Andrew is with me today to talk about how you can rock out Facebook groups. High five, virtual Andrew.
Got it.
Awesome. And by the way, I'm so terrified to pronounce your last name. So you say it first.
Cruzy.
Cruzy.
I don't think anybody's pronounced it right on the internet yet. So
I totally would have said Crozy.
Yep, that's
Cruzy just makes it all the cooler. So Andrew and I, for context, met through a group that we're a member of together, and he was just posting these rockin' results, like 80K, 100K a month. I was cheering him on, of course, in the group. And we were like, hey, we need to connect. And it was just hot on the heels of my putting together this celebration. You know, we are celebrating our 10th year in business here at Speak, Serve, Grow. And so I have compiled 10 super rock stars that I pulled from my Rolodex to share with all of you today so that you can get more visible too. Visibility is absolutely critical in your business. We're going to talk about that with Andrew today and get his take. And hello, Michelle and Susan and everybody else coming on the line. Thank you so much. And let us know, say hi so we know you're there. Visibility is key, but also visibility in a very strategic way so that you're not just running around getting visible and exhausting yourself, but doing it in a really purposeful way so that you're getting leads and clients is just the name of the game, right? That's how we grow as entrepreneurs. Andrew is doing this with Facebook groups in a way that I think few people have really unlocked how to make these work. I think a lot of us have Facebook groups that are maybe a little underperforming. I think that's probably more common. So I was so grateful, Andrew, when you agreed to come on and share some of your secrets today. So first, thank you and welcome to the Highly Visible Entrepreneur Series.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm stoked to see what goes down. Stoked to bring your audience value in any way that I can.
Yeah, and as you guys will know, Andrew's super fun, super high energy. He's got that great youthful energy, but he's wicked smart. So we're going to have a great time. And I see Suzanne Doyle Ingram. She'll be at the Rise talking about books, how you can put a book together. So you'll meet her, those of you who come to the Rise event. I see Dana and Michael. So hello, and a good time to just mention that if you are feeling generous, remember a rising tide lifts all ships. So if you are generous enough to share this live across a couple of groups and pages while we're on, I'm going to take a minute and share it onto my page as well. But if you share it to 3 different places, I will actually enter you to win a copy of my Command Any Room course that shows you how to create a plan for speaking, how to book talks, craft your talk, and make money from it. So one lucky winner will win that along with a ticket to the Rise live event. And I'll share with you how you can get some free goodies from Andrew and all of our great experts in the series before we wrap up today as well. So before we go any further, Andrew, I just told everybody how awesome you are and the great results you've been getting, but how do you introduce yourself to people?
Oh, it's kind of all over the place.
How do you explain what you do, I guess I should say.
So I help entrepreneurs grow Facebook groups, grow an organic Facebook following, and create coaching programs and courses to sell to their audience, all organically. We don't do any ads. I've really nailed down different organic strategies on how to sell through Messenger, what posts to put on your personal profile, what to post in Facebook groups, all of that, so you can explode your business totally organically.
I love that. And it's such, and by the way, there's nobody in the series is talking about ads. And I'm not villainizing Facebook ads. I've used them. I think you have used them. But those of us, okay, well, those of us who have, we know this. The price has only gone up. It's only become more and more difficult and more expensive. That doesn't mean there isn't a path. There's always a way if you decide to find the way. But for a lot of people, and especially if you're getting started or if you've been doing ads and you want to layer organic marketing, it's way more profitable when you're not bleeding that money. And it's also really risky. Ads don't always work, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the industry as a whole, marketing as a whole, is moving towards more intimacy, more depth. People just they don't respond to a webinar or a sales page like they used to. Like
Yes.
moving more towards real conversations with real people. And that's really what's going to last for the long haul, is like if you actually know how to interact with real people in your marketing, and you can build a team around that to start those conversations and take them through to a close. But the industry as a whole is moving a little bit more away from the webinar and sales page model that's worked for so long, but it's starting to move away from it.
Yeah, and we're really seeing people struggle, I think, with that model, especially people starting out, but even really experienced entrepreneurs, where the opt-in pages and sending people to a webinar and selling your course, that used to be just a no-brainer way to make money. And it's a little heavier lifting, I think, for everything you just said, that people got a little jaded, I think. And also we're missing that connection. It's why I love speaking. Mm-hmm. It's like you're creating in your Facebook group the same kind of dynamic that can happen when you go out live in person, which is a deeper relationship. I've always said when you go and speak on a stage or you host a workshop or an event, it's like every opt-in or lead you get in that situation is worth probably at least 5 times like a lead that you would get, let's say, from a Facebook ad, right? Yeah. It's a completely different world. Well, is that the same thing that you're finding with your Facebook groups?
Oh, big time. Yeah. I've thought about going like the paid traffic route to see if I could scale a little bit more and a little bit faster. But everybody I've talked to, like my sales guy is closing at a 60 to 80% clip.
Wow. Round of applause for that, everybody. Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. If you're watching, please let us know if you have a Facebook group in the comments. That would be super helpful. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So he's closing like at that clip, and it's for a package that's almost 5 figures. And I was thinking about doing paid traffic, and everybody was telling me like there's no way to cold traffic to a paid traffic audience. Like they're gonna close, like your sales guy is gonna close that clip. Like usually close, you're doing about 10%, 10 to 20% starting out if you're lucky. So the close rate inside of a Facebook group or even on your personal profile is so much better than doing any type of advertising.
Yeah, that's true. It would almost be like, I was almost going to say, wow, that's like crazy high. And it is crazy high, but that makes sense because again, you're dealing with a warmer pool of people.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. That's amazing. So by the way, thank you to everybody sharing the live, and please continue to do that. That just helps us reach more people. And that's what we're talking about. The whole theme is about getting more visible. And the truth is, when you collaborate and you support other people, it's so much easier to reach new audiences and get that exposure. So we so appreciate you. So I wanted to ask you, how did you kind of stumble onto Facebook groups? Like there's tons of platforms, and part of what we're trying to help people do with this series is get clear on which ones work for them, right? Like there's not everybody should host their own live event. Not everybody should be on LinkedIn. It depends on where you're going to find your ideal clients. So how did you settle in on Facebook groups? How did you stumble on success there?
So I started my Facebook group in November of 2017. We're at 13.
Way back in 2017.
Basically a year and a half ago, and we have 13,000 members in the Facebook group now, totally organically. I didn't start with any lists. I didn't have an email list. I didn't have anybody following me on Instagram or anything like that. It really just started from zero with a Facebook group. And at the time, I was running an advertising agency where I was doing Facebook ads for local businesses, and we were doing about 10 to 15K per month. So I decided to start a Facebook group to kind of just teach those digital marketers how to run that type of agency. Yeah. So a Facebook group, and I started with my personal profile. So I started interacting in other Facebook groups where my target audience was at. And then I just started adding a bunch of friends. So they would come over to my personal profile, and I had my profile set up in a way that like branded me as the expert in the advertising agency realm. And then I had you can check out my personal profile now, Andrew Kruse, Kroeze, set up in a very similar way, but now for Facebook groups. But I call this profile funnel. So there are multiple buttons that you can press on my personal profile that take you straight to my Facebook group. So when you're interacting in other Facebook groups where your target audience is at and you're adding them as friends, then they'll creep on your personal profile, they'll find those buttons, and then they'll click those buttons and join your Facebook group. So that's really how I started out, and I was sending personal messages and all that. It was like kind of down and dirty, just hustle, which it kind of has to be if you don't have any other lists. You have to do that until you get to 1,000 members in your group, and then it just starts growing more organically. So the beauty of having a Facebook group is that Facebook will feed you free leads into your Facebook group. You just need to make sure that the name is set up the right way, you have a solid banner, and you're basically getting free leads from Facebook showing your group on the suggested group sidebar. And as soon as somebody hits your Facebook group, you have 3 questions that you can ask them. In one of those 3 questions, you should ask for an email. So you should say, hey, do you want this free guide on blah, blah, blah? Drop your email down below if you want it. And there are a couple of services that you can use that will take that email address and send it to your email autoresponder. So there's Group Funnels and Group Convert. Group Funnels is run by Arnie Giske. Group Convert is run by Kim Dang, both awesome, awesome people. But then you get people on your email list as well. So if you just rock those 2 platforms, Facebook groups and your email, like you're golden. Like what I realized from the very beginning, like what I learned after getting 1,000 people into my group was it's so powerful to have a platform. Like you just need one platform. And in the Facebook group, like after I got over 500 people, people started asking me, hey, do you have a course? Do you have a coaching program? Can you coach me one-on-one? And then I was like, I can make something. So I made a course and I launched it with just a single post, one post in my Facebook group. And we made first launch, we did $8,000 when I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Hey, I bet give us a thumbs up or some dollar signs in the comments if you'll take $8,000 today. I bet everybody would be up for it.
Yeah, exactly. And like that, now we're doing launches that are producing $30,000, $40,000 from just like a single post and a little bit of messenger outreach. And like, I
love it.
We don't do these big launches with webinars. I've never done a webinar. I've never done a VSL. It's simply a post with good copy and then talking to real people in Messenger. And for our higher ticket packages, we get on the phone. And then I have a 1K course, the Group Growth and Monetization Blueprint, that teaches all this stuff. But we sell that for $997 or a payment plan of $397 times 3 right now. It might go.
Sure.
It's amazing. To add on to that, I teach what's called the maximization model, which is how to set up your courses and coaching programs in a way that it's very scalable and very impactful. I think it's so important to have an online course that's very scalable and indoctrinates people into your methodology, and giving them quick wins, over delivering that online course so they can afford your core program, which should be a 90-day to 120-day accelerator program, more accountability, more coaching, weekly group coaching calls, that sort of stuff. Higher ticket price point. And then what we have after that is our our year-long mastermind, Authority Accelerator Elite, where we go in more depth. There's more hands-on, more in-person meetups, that sort of thing. And that brings in the monthly reoccurring revenue that a lot of courses and coaches and course creators are missing, where we're bringing in $20K per month just on autopilot from that program right now, for the next 12 months. So having those set up in tandem with having a platform where you can sell them, it's just the perfect way to do it.
I love what you're sharing. It's, and it makes sense that we kind of mirror each other, because I think we have similar philosophies about things that, you want to have that close connection. You want to have one platform that you really focus most of your marketing efforts on. I think that's so smart. You can use more than one, but definitely don't try to be the master of all platforms, or you're going to be stuck in the weeds and spinning your wheels, which is, I think, what we both see happening really commonly in the market is people like ads, videos, Facebook, Instagram, and they're just making no impact anywhere.
Yeah.
So for most entrepreneurs, Facebook is and I know for most of my clients, Facebook is definitely the place to be. For those of you who want corporate clients, you may also want to be on LinkedIn, but you don't need to be everywhere. And then I heard you talking about a couple things that I wanted to kind of point out. One was making sure that you hit that 1,000-person mark in your group. We'll circle back to that in a second. Having a course, and I always tell my clients, have an on-ramp to your business. Have that first yes where people can learn how you serve. It's the same thing if you're going to go out and speak to a group at an event or speak at an organization. You're not going to go, hi, nice to meet you, step into my $50,000 mastermind. It's too big of a leap, but you can onboard people to your entry-level course. And I hear you saying that's a great first step for groups, but also having those higher end programs, because you're right, out of every group, there's always that small percentage that want to raise their hand for a more elite offer. They want more hand-holding from you, more guidance, more strategy, and more customization. So you always want to be ready for that higher end yes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. So we're getting a couple of questions. I was trying to skim through the chat while I was also listening to you. So one question was, how does Facebook feed you leads? And it sounded to me that you were saying in your course that you're teaching some tips on how to name it and things like that, so that you're showing up in the suggested groups on the sidebar. Is that right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So there are multiple ways that people can find you organically. So Facebook has a suggested group sidebar on the side of Facebook groups where people can find you totally organically. They put Facebook groups on the suggested sidebar that are relative to the Facebook group that you're currently in. So that's a great way to get highly targeted leads. And then people searching for Facebook groups. So if you put in keywords into your Facebook group name, you will be highly more likely to get those organic leads. And this is where I see a lot of people fail when they're first starting their Facebook group. Mind you, I almost screwed up my first Facebook group because I almost named it the Invictus Entrepreneur. What the hell is that? Invictus is my favorite poem, but nobody else knows what the hell Invictus means, which is conquerable in Latin. But nobody would search Invictus. Nobody would really want to click on that Facebook group. But I changed to the Six-Figure Digital Marketer. That was my first Facebook group. It grew crazy organically because there were so many digital marketers out there that wanted to get to six figures. So if you can find those keywords and have and make your Facebook group mission driven to hey, we're all in this to get to six figures through digital marketing, or we're all in this to make six figures from stage. When you have that mission and everybody's focused on getting to that one goal, it makes it so much way more engaged, and way more people will want to be a part of it.
I love that. So really being focused on who you want to serve and making sure that that language and that main promise or goal of your group is really clear, so that you're getting targeted people, and also that you're going to be shown in similar groups, so that when Facebook is making that suggestion, that you're really lining up with the kinds of groups where you would want their members. I don't know if that made any sense.
No, okay. Exactly. Yeah.
So another question that came up was about the questions. You can set up little qualifying questions. And someone was saying that the only downside is that the questions are not required to be answered. And I don't know if that's true or not, but you still have a choice whether or not you accept somebody in your group, right? So you can kind of make it required, because you don't have to let them in your group, and you can say that. True?
Right. So when you're setting up a Facebook group, there are three different options. There's a private group, there is a public group, and there's a closed group. So the closed group gives you the three questions. Private, nobody will find you. Sometimes that's good for a course, if you're getting at it, of course. And then a public group, people can just add themselves. And that's usually the groups that get a lot of spam in them. It's not good. So you can use a closed group where you can ask up to three questions. You do not need to accept the people inside of my groups. We do not accept the people that don't answer the questions. And we let them know that in the first question, if you don't answer these, you're not going to be accepted. But the first two questions, what we have found best to work best in terms of sales, monetization, really understanding who is joining the group is first question, something along the lines of where are you currently at, right? And then the second question, where do you want to go? So,
hey, I see where we're going here.
and now, like, can your services, products bridge the gap? So where are you at? Where do you want to go? And then you can actually add another question inside of question number 2, which is, would you like help to get to blank? Wherever you can help them get to. And if they say yes, you have full permission to reach out to them via Messenger and ask them, like, get a sales conversation going, get to know them a little bit better, and maybe take it to a sales call. And then the third question should be getting their email address. So you can provide value to them via email, and you have that asset as well.
I love that. And you answered Bradley's question, because he was saying, how much of a stickler should I be on making them answer the questions? And I think if you want to qualify people, you might as well stick to your criteria. And like Andrew said, and that's what we do in our open group, is we have 3 questions, and I let you know, please answer these so that I can make sure you're a good fit.
Yeah.
And I think that'll keep your group really clean. I mean, just like an email list, it's not about just pure greatest number of people, because if they're worthless to you and they're not good, a good match for you and your expertise, then you don't need them in the group. I would rather have a few less people and have them be the right people. I'm guessing you agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. It's more about the engagement that you're getting and the reach that you're getting inside of your Facebook group, rather than the numbers. Like, the numbers are cool. It's kind of an ego thing. Like, I have 13,000 people in my Facebook group, but I had one of my best months when I had 2,000 people in my Facebook group. We made $62,000 from the group with only 2,000 people in the group, because it was super engaged. People were super on mission, and like, they wanted to buy. So it's more about the engagement that you're getting in the group and less about the numbers.
That makes sense. So one question that was popping up was about, should you give a download? And yes, Andrew had said that a little earlier, that definitely when you're asking for that email, you're going to give a gift in return, just like you would if you were speaking to a group. You want to have a great digital gift. It's a great way to add value to people and stay in touch with them. And then Andrew had mentioned 2 resources for that, which I wrote down: Group Funnels and Group Convert. Did I get that right?
Yep.
And those will help automate so that you're not having to literally go like, oh, Andrew wants it in my group, and then hand sending him an email. That way you can automate it. Although you could do it by hand also. I always like to remind people there's always a way, even if you don't have that automation.
The added benefit of those softwares is that it takes the answers too and takes it to a Google Sheet. So that's step 1. After you click the button and everybody like gets accepted in the group, it takes it to a Google Sheet where you can see their answers.
That's great.
Yeah, if you don't have those softwares, after you accept somebody to the group, their answers will go away. So it's a great way. It's basically like a CRM system, because now you have people saying, yes, I want your help. And you have the answers to where are you at and where do you want to go, right?
Yes, I love that. And that's okay. Susan was apologizing. That's okay. We're happy to repeat the hot tip. Some people are coming on late anyways. So I know we're trying to keep these to 30 minutes-ish so people can really like laser in and get tons of value, which you've already given. But I want to make sure I get a few more golden nuggets in. So maybe could you give one more tip around how to invite people into your group, and then we'll get a tip on like how to activate your group a bit, like what content should you start putting in there to start activating and turning that community into the tribe of buyers that you're so great at creating, Andrew. So what would be one other tip for getting people to your group?
All right, so it's going to be multiple tips. It's going to be really
even better. Everybody get your pen handy.
So I have a framework first. So I call it the 3 buckets. And these are the 3 buckets of organic Facebook marketing. So your first bucket is your list or your platform. So your platform is your profile and your Facebook group, right? And you want to grow the number on those lists, your Facebook group and your personal profile. And then your second bucket is your value what value are you providing to your group and your personal profile? Mind you, you should be posting every single day on your personal profile and inside of your Facebook group. Sounds daunting, but it can be as simple as a question, right?
Okay.
Because we really want engagement. So the value, there are actually, I've identified 8 different types of posts that take a stranger to a raving fan of your business. And it goes through hitting posts that hit pain points, that hit problems, that show off your methodologies, that show social proof, that show testimonials, results, that sort of thing. So that value, that bucket of moving a stranger to a raving fan of your business. And then your third and final bucket is money. Like ultimately our goal with running a business is to make money, right?
Yeah.
So make sure that your list bucket is full and your value bucket is full. And then you can do a post that's a call to action that's like, hey, do you want this? Basically a sales page in a post. If you want this, comment down below and I'll send you over the details via Messenger. Cool. And then you can make money that way. So when your money bucket goes up, you're removing those people from your list and your value bucket, and now they're buyers, right? So now after you launch something, you have to refill your list bucket and your value bucket, right? So how your question was basically, how do you fill your list bucket? Like how do you get your personal profile and your Facebook group? There's so many different ways. One of them is a list migration strategy. If you have lists already, email lists, YouTube subscribers, Instagram followers, just using your group link and directing them back to your Facebook group and offering like that free lead magnet or free guide or an epic training for the first 500 people that join the Facebook group, and then the training is removed. That's a great one.
That's fun.
Sending out messages to your lists and getting them into your Facebook group. And then another great way, like if you don't have any lists, it comes down to pure hustle. Like just hustle your face off and you'll be able to do this. So going into other Facebook groups where your target audience is at, posting every single day. There are 4 different types of posts that I go over in my group growth monetization blueprint program and show you exactly what to post in other Facebook groups. It's providing value. It's telling your story and making it look like a testimonial. And then there are 2 more. And then what you want to do is add 50 people per day from those target audience Facebook groups, and then they'll join your personal profile list, right? So then from there, you can make a post to simply take those people that are on your personal profile and shift them to your Facebook group. Hey, do you want this epic guide? Or do you want this free training on X, Y, and Z? Comment down below, give me a GIF, or comment, I want in, and send you over the link. Why we're doing that is because it will increase engagement and it will show to more people. So we put that on our personal profile, and then people are commenting. We send them over a link to our Facebook group, and then they join the Facebook group. So now you have your lists up. Now you just need to post that content every day that move a stranger to a buyer or to a raving fan. And then you just put the call to action post when you have those 2 buckets filled, and then you make money.
I love that. I was typing and trying to put little blips up on the video screen for everybody, those little takeaways. Well, there was a lot of them. But I love the idea of like putting a free course or a free mini training or something or guide into the group and then drawing people in that way. That's such a great, it's a great tip. It adds value, which we're all about. This is called speak, serve, grow, right? So we're serving people with our content that way and really being high value. The other great thing is everybody probably has that. You have a training that you've recorded or a great webinar that you've led or something you might have done for your training program or group training program that has great value. Everybody probably already has that. So you don't even necessarily need to create something brand new, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I would avoid using a lead magnet that you just use all the time, like on your email list or whatever. You can use a lead magnet that you can certainly currently have, but make sure that you haven't sent it out that much. So it's more enticing to join your group. It's more exclusive to them. And if you don't want to create this PDF that might take you a week, you can do a live training in there and just make it really enticing to the people that want to join your group and give it a really good title and then have them join for that free training.
I love it. Everybody watching right now, or if you're watching the replay, you should do this today. Yeah. It will absolutely magnetize people. I think often wonder, how do I get visible and how do I sell? And how that can go wrong is, hi, Andrew, would you like to buy my course? No. Right? Exactly. The answer is no. But hey, Andrew, I've made this great free guide. Or hey, Andrew, today only I'm posting this free training in the group. It's going to show you how to book more speaking gigs. Yes. Now you're gifting people, you're activating that reciprocation, you're creating goodwill in the marketplace, you're positioning yourself as a leader, as someone who's the go-to girl or guy, which is everything this series is about. Yeah. So we've got tips on how to attract people into the group, how to maximize that, some of the keywords, and making sure we're aligning your group so that it's showing up in that sidebar for suggestions. I know there's more nuances and more tips around that in your course as well, which I definitely suggest people check out. How to bring people from your personal page into your group, posting daily on both pages. And Andrew gave some great tips, just a couple of his idea joggers for the kinds of posts that you want to be doing, whether it's sharing testimonials, asking a question, sharing a quick tip or idea with somebody, posting a GIF. All of those are great content. Before we go, would you be kind enough to share maybe one tip, a quick little something, maybe a baby tip someone could try today to maybe activate a sale within their group?
Ooh, so yeah, one thing I want to mention is we don't want to force sales. Like you were saying, we don't want to force a course upon somebody, right?
Yes.
We do attraction marketing, which we went over with the list and the value, doing those 8 different types of posts that move a stranger to a raving fan of your business. But if you want to activate a sale today, there's so many different ways to go about it.
And maybe it's just that baby step of even warming people up. Yeah.
What I would do is do a Facebook Live, just an epic training. And so I don't mean to be cocky, but me and actually my neighbor, Brad Newman, are 2 of the best Facebook Messenger salespeople in the world. Like we're really good at selling through Messenger and through text. So the best way to convert somebody from like being a warm lead to like actually buying from you is by getting really good at text sales. And I think from when I was like growing up and I was using instant messenger in middle school, like American Online Instant Messenger, and like chatting up like girls in middle school, I'm really good at it. But what you want to do, here's the quick tip. Do an epic training. Just like just identify what your ideal clients really, really want. Do a 3-step training on that. So let's say the 3-step training for me, like to get 1,000 people into your group in 6 weeks. Like that's what a lot of my audience wants, right?
Sure.
Put that out there. See who's engaging the most, who's asking the questions, and at the end, do a little AMA, ask me anything, or any type of way you can pull questions out of your audience. And the people that are super engaged, just start with a genuine conversation and ask them, hey, what was your biggest takeaway from this Facebook Live, right? Start that conversation and then take it to, hey, I think I have something that might be able to help you. Do you mind actually a great way to phrase it is, do I have your permission to send you a message in Facebook Messenger? Asking people for their permission, they say yes, their guard goes way down. Like you're being real, you're being genuine. Like, do I have your permission? They say yes. Then send them a message, get in a conversation, and then take them to a sales call, because it's so much easier to close via a sales call than it is through just a sales funnel. And then close them on the phone.
I love that. So we're doing a training, like a Facebook Live training. We're seeing who's engaged. We're asking for permission to message those people a little bit more about like what did they get from the training, and what are they excited about creating, maybe based on the training.
Yeah.
And then
so
go
you
ahead.
can say, hey, based on these questions, I think I have something that that might be able to help you. Do I have your permission to send you a private message? So
Love
like
that.
setting the frame of like, I
Yes.
have something for you. Can we talk about it? Get
Yes.
that messenger. And then the best way to get them on a phone call from there is you ask them about like their problems, their challenges, where they want to go, like real quick in Messenger. Once you have enough information, you ask that, or you tell them, hey, from everything that I'm seeing here, it might be best that we hop on a 30-minute phone call. Are you open to exploring this more? Sometimes I say to be open and honest.
Yeah.
To be open and honest, if you sound like a good fit, and we're good to work together, I'll offer you something on the call, but only if you're a good fit and only if you're a good fit for each other. So kind of setting that frame, setting the call up so it's a sales call and it's not so much a strategy. They know what they're doing too. Yeah.
I love that. And I posted up a comment right now from Terry. Hi, Terry, by the way. Dr. Terry Rouse. And she was saying she really loves that you're asking for permission. It's so important. Nobody wants to be duped into a sales call. I remember once it was someone I was actually friendly with, and he was like, we haven't caught up in a while. You know, we should have a virtual coffee. And then I was on the virtual coffee, you know, we're chatting away. And he's like, so like, are you ready to rebrand your business or whatever it was? And it was so awkward because I was like, I thought we were just catching up, like legit. Don't say you want to catch up and start selling me when I haven't expressed any interest, right? It's okay if you express interest. So I love that we're asking for permission. We're not doing it we're not apologizing, right? We're not being apologetic or anything like that. We're being confident, but we're asking for permission. I have this thing I think you would find really helpful, or based on what you're telling me where you want to go, I have a great idea. I'd love to share it with you. You know, could I message you? You're being really upfront with people. They appreciate that. In today's world, it's such a breath of fresh air. And then also you're not wasting your time getting on the phone with people who are not ready to take the next step, and always taking that pressure off. I love that last tip you gave, which I always share with my clients. Anytime you're going to do a strategy session, sales conversation, consultation, be really clear and mean it. If we're a good fit, I will absolutely let you know what I think you're a good fit for, what would be helpful to you. If we're not, I'll also let you know that and refer you on to a better resource, you know, a better person to serve you. So either way, you're going to, you know, come out of the call with a great resource. If it's not me, that's fine. That just lets people feel so free to relax and have a really engaged conversation with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Holy cow, Andrew. Well, we have been ripping and rocking and tons of tips. I hope everybody was taking notes. I am going to, as soon as this is done, like converting and doing its magic on Facebook, we will post this into the forum that we have going, the page we have going for the Highly Visible Entrepreneur Series. If you look in the comments, I did post the link, and I will repost it again right now so you can join us. If you haven't opted in there, you want to, because again, all of the recordings are posted, but also some amazing free gifts. And Andrew was kind enough to contribute to that gift package. So I know if you use the link in there and you go to Andrew's free gift, you're going to get a revenue calculator, a goal setting guide, a whole bunch of resources that'll help you get started. And I also highly recommend, if you've been really excited about what he's shared with you today, that you connect with him on Facebook, go like his page, go follow him. Maybe you can even get into his group. Wouldn't that be great? And make sure that you stay connected to Andrew. Lastly, I want to thank you, Andrew, for sharing so much content in such a little power-packed amount of time. And I hope that everybody follows up with you, but I want to thank you so much for sharing your gifts and your genius with us today.
Cool. I have one more thing, if that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a really, really epic training on messenger sales.
Okay.
I sell it for $297.
Yep.
However, if you send me a personal message and answer this question, what is the number one reason why people buy? And if you send me an answer with the correct answer, I will gift you that
The training.
the training for free, the $297.
We definitely like more free gifts.
Just send me a personal message with a answer of why was the number one reason why people buy. And also, in addition to that, if you could tell me like what was your number one takeaway from this Facebook Live, that would be awesome. So I love like doing these lives. And Kristin, thank you so much for having me. It was freaking awesome. And your audience is super engaged. I love all of that.
Yes.
I just freaking loved it. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And look, you're practicing, he's modeling what he teaches, which is what we should all do. So if you got something and that you had to, if you were on this live, you got a lot of hot tips. I was taking notes like wildfire. Please go message Andrew, tell him, you know, what's the number one reason people buy, as long as you give them a good reasonable answer. I'm sure. Please let him know. It's so helpful as a speaker to know what's resonating with people. So that's a gift to us when you let us know what was rocking your world and lighting you up. And then Andrew will be kind enough to gift you, was it your messenger training?
Yeah, it is.
Your messenger
freaking epic.
Oh yeah, I want that too. I'm going to answer the question. Definitely get in there, and then get into the Highly Visible Entrepreneur series. If you stumbled on this today and you didn't yet hop in there, do, so you can watch this replay, because there were way too many tips. There's no way you memorize them all. Please rewatch this training. Please message Andrew, get his free gift inside the group, and we will see you back here tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we've got David Newman. He's going to be talking about keynote speaking. So for those of you who want to add another revenue stream where you're getting your authority really raised, you're getting that stage time, you're not making an offer in this case, someone's paying you to come speak. And David, sorry, I'm so on Andrew mode right now. David Newman is a doll. If you loved Andrew, you're going to love David Newman. He's a total sweetheart, brilliant at what he does. You're not going to want to miss it. Another rip-roaring live training session coming your way. Andrew, my friend, you rock. I'm excited for your live event in October. I'm excited for everything that you're creating. Again, big thanks from the Rock Your Talk Speak, Serve, Grow tribe. And we'll see you all back here tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Make it a great day. Bye.
Bye.